Why be easy when you can just die?
Woo! I'm Chewy Mew and welcome to my channel, but more specifically, welcome to another Chewy Mew video, where today I'm going to be taking a look at a figure that I've since wanted to get for, no joke, 16 years, and he's in this box right here. I actually already cut the tape open because this tape was horrendous to cut. I already recorded, I was trying to cut this open, and the tape this guy used is invincible, which, you know, really good packaging on that. I even cut the cardboard here, and here he is.
So this is, you guys already can tell by the thumbnail here. Already ripped that, okay.
And it is, yes, the Silver Armor Spider-Man. I don't know what his official name is. I think it actually is like Web Capture or Web Trap Spider-Man. I think it's Web Capture or something. He came with this really cool display-based thing that says Infect Him. You know, there's just, you never know if it has like some kind of fungal infection or whatever on it. Yeah, there we go. Get him nice and juicy there. Alright, so here he is now. So I got this guy on eBay. I think he cost, it was like $13 or something. It was like $13, and I've been trying to find this figure at a decent price for a while. The most I ever saw this guy was like $40, brand new in packaging, free shipping. You know, I didn't want to pay that much. I found a bunch of them for $10, $15. They were all bids. And because I guess my luck is just horrible, I lost like 3 or 4 bids trying to buy this guy. He arrived in the mail about, you know, like 15 minutes ago. I just got him out of the mailbox. Whoa, I didn't notice that. He doesn't have a spider on his back. Oh, crap. The texture it's not the same, but it's pretty similar to the, it looks very close. The color looks very close. In real life, this one looks slightly more bluish, and this one's much more like a white-black, which you can see they look different here. This one looks like more like, kind of like a honey hive kind of pattern to it, you know, like it has like the little tiny, extremely tiny like octagon shapes in his leg here, whereas this one has the more like kind of like rectangle, looks kind of more like a brick kind of pattern. Sculpting, it's even scratchy. I really like when they have that like very textured. It's not just, you know, all smooth like this. It's not just all plain smooth. They could have made it all smooth, but they put great level of detail into that. Also on the body, everything on this guy has great level of detail. You can see the spider here. I love how this spider isn't shaped like a regular, like your regular Spider-Man kind of shape here. You know, it has like, this looks very much like an actual spider, like very cartoon kind of looking spider design. Whereas this one looks more like a combination of a bunch of shapes. I mean that's what everything is, just shapes. But you can very much see the body is shaped like a pentagon here. Whereas on other spiders, it's shaped more like an actual spider. And then the legs look all like just a bunch of very thick right angle kind of lines to them. And then the head just looks like a half circle, which very cool that it doesn't just look like a regular spider logo. It looks very much kind of blocky. And then there's no spider on the back, which I never noticed that. That's so weird, but it looks really cool that there's no spider on the back. But that's cool, no spider here. I also noticed this just now, that on his torso here, you have the torso plate, and then you can see this little, like, looks like a band that connects the back to the front. You can't take this latch off or anything, but I love that attention to detail that you can actually see the strap where these 2 armor plates would connect. He puts his head through the hole here. That's why his neck isn't armored. And then he fastens these belts together to, you know, cover his chest. And then this belt piece is like one whole piece then. That looks really cool. And then the armor is like a separate part of the costume. I just love the way that it kind of tell how he would put this armor on, and then he just puts the mask on, puts his gloves. Like, I think it would be that the gloves, like the arm, it's just like this is part of the texture or whatever. And, you know, this hand obviously has the gimmick, but they still sculpted, if we put these together, they still sculpted like a nearly identical hand. It looks kind of like skeleton kind of hands where you have all these like looks like bony, silvery kind of webbing going up. It looks really good. There's inside the hand here. This one obviously has the huge hole in his hand there, because you would stick a missile in here and then you press it and he would shoot it out. I don't have, it doesn't come with the missile, and I sadly don't have any other missiles lying around that I could like show you testing it, but pretty much would be like, and then, you know, cool. It could probably knock down a figure when you shoot it. The button is really stiff though. I think it's one of the buttons you move back and forth. I don't know. But they're very much huge hands. Compare that to Sinister, Fearsome Foe Spider-Man here, which now he has fingers. Don't worry how he got these, it's a secret. The hand, well, it's not that enormous, but when you look at it from certain sides, his fingers are about as long as Fearsome Foe's entire hand, you know, from finger to wrist, you know. Looks really great. My only nitpick I have with this guy is that you see here his arms are different. Obviously, this one has, you know, full ball joint thing. This one just rotates like that, which that's not my complaint. My complaint is you see how his shoulder pads on this side goes over the ball joint. It goes over top of it, which that's what hinders it from, you know, moving all the way up and all the way around. Whereas this one, it moves all the way around because his shoulder pad doesn't go over. You can see how this one has a very distinct pattern that goes all the way to the end. This one, you can see how the pattern on this is a little bit different. This shoulder's raised compared to that one. That's my only nitpick with this guy. You can even see it's more noticeable on this arm. He has the same buckle strap that would hook his regular costume onto this arm. And then this one's supposed to be like a glove that slips on. You can also see the same pattern here. You don't see any on the legs, but I think that's so cool that they put that attention to detail to show, yeah, that's where his costume attaches. As far as looking at the pattern on here, I just love the way this pattern looks, you know, with his really, like, tiny looking eyes. It's not, you know, your big kind of eyes. It's, like, kind of squinted, makes you think of, like, kind of like first appearance Spider-Man eyes. The neck has the same pattern to it. His whole body is slightly kind of crooked a bit. And the way this chest piece is set up here, it makes it look like he has some kind of like ball joint or an ab crunch here or something, which he only rotates here. But the way it looks, doesn't it look like he would have some kind of rotation, some kind of joint here or something? You can see how his chest, like the pectoral part, is slightly raised, whereas this part here is lower. Also, what I like here is that they didn't just flip his legs. You know, on some figures, they actually just they make a mold for, like, the left leg, and then they just make a duplicate on the right leg. They kind of just flip it, pretty much just... This one, it actually, if you touch the textures here on the legs, they actually don't feel identical. You can see how this part, like this muscle right here, starts slightly sticking out more. This one is a different shape, and it's not sticking out the same way. You can see the legs here, too. This one's more angled. So when you bend the leg, this one's more angled out. This one's angled straight. But it does say 2005 Marvel Entertainment ToyBiz Worldwide. The other one says made in China. It just looks really, really cool. Like the paint and the detail they put on this, they totally did not need to sculpt this texture like this at all. So that's the one issue with his leg being angled like that is even if you have him on a display base, his legs aren't going to line up completely straight. I mean, you can have him like this. Yeah, this leg being them not being symmetrical. It's actually a bit of a negative. And his head rotates all the way around. It looks down all the way. His head is a bit loose. Looks up pretty much all the way. Also, I like how this part, you can also tell where he put his mask on because this part's all smooth. Like he slid his mask on his face like that. He has a rotation here in the waist. Sadly, no ab crunch. This arm rotates all the way around. This arm would rotate all the way around and it would go all the way up at his shoulder pad. Rotation here in the upper arm. Double bend in the elbow and a hinge in the wrist. It goes in really good. Doesn't go out too much because the armor blocks it. The legs kick up all the way. Both of them can. You can actually get him to sit down. That's pretty nice. And he has a single bend in both knees. And like I said, they both angle in different directions, which that's kind of cool. It kind of does hinder like stretching his legs out. And his foot goes forward and back. It goes forward and back really, really good on this foot. But yeah, so that's all for this video. If you like this figure, you know, let me know. If you like the video, also let me know. Having him like in a display like this, I think that looks pretty cool. And yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video. Wow.